serious answers only. Frequent users of the darknet, have there been moments in your life when you felt real danger? What happened? One time, my webcam turned on by itself. It was scary. I immediately turned it off and disconnected the network cable. Did 3 full system scans for malware and viruses. Found nothing. It hasn't happened since. Not in the modern darknet, but back in the days of Usenet, I posted some harsh critical comments on a forum in the alt-religion, Scientology thread. After that, I started receiving threats. Internet threats were funny to me, but then I started getting death threats by real mail. That's when I got scared. One time, I bought some weed there, and I received a letter threatening that if I didn't send 1 BTC, $1,000 at the time, horrible things would happen to me. For example, they would send child porn to me and call the police to my address. I was scared to death, but nothing happened. Always check reviews before buying anything. It didn't happen often, but there was one time when I accidentally left the browser in full screen mode. After that, some stranger in the chat asked me if I liked my curved monitor. I got a little scared. This wasn't in the darknet, but still. Once I wanted to install Windows 7 on my old computer, I downloaded and installed a .iso file from some site, and everything was fine for an hour, but then a porn pop-up appeared on the screen, and I was like, what the hell? Then a chat window opened, and the webcam turned on. Some guy wrote to me that I had beautiful eyes, after which I quickly turned off the computer and installed Windows 10. It feels like the whole darknet is run by the government. I used to frequently visit sites with stuff. They would close for a few weeks. Then they would reappear, but with some strange prices, and the sellers would change. Because of this, the darknet is more like a labyrinth than a lawless wasteland. I had a friend who ordered weed there. The dealer got busted, and the postal service informed him that they had a suspicious package for him. He had the option to either pick it up or leave it, and it would be destroyed. What did he choose? Did he go for the package? I don't think so, unless he was a complete idiot. If you get a package with some illegal stuff, and you ordered it anonymously and covered your tracks, you have a good chance to get away from the authorities. You can safely say, no thanks. I don't want to receive it because I have no idea what it is. Then it's all over, and you just have to accept the lost money for the package. But trying to pick it up, after being told it's suspicious, will lead to a pleasant conversation with the authorities. The idea that the darknet is some super shocking and dangerous place is largely not true. Mostly it consists of strange libertarian blogs and very sterile sites like Amazon, but with different substances and reviews on them from various sellers. I remember when my friend showed me where he buys stuff on the internet. I saw how cool and official everything looked. As you said, it was just a site like Amazon, but with substances and friendly and detailed reviews. And there was something written in red at the top like, site name, moderators will never ask for your password. To say the least, I was pleasantly surprised. I wrote several books about the darknet. Because of this, I spent every day there for the past 8 years. Over the years, I talked to, interviewed, and even visited many dark web representatives, mostly dealers and operators of darknet markets. I attended the trial of one of the most evil people on the planet, Lux, aka Matthew Graham, the owner of Hurt to the Core, a site with child torture. He turned out to be a lonely, miserable young guy who built his evil empire in his childhood bedroom, and his parents had no idea what was going on under their noses. However, the only time I felt any danger was when I helped expose a fraudulent hitman site. The owner of Besa Mafia, the most profitable hitman for hire site in history, started stalking me when I began writing about him. He threatened me a lot. You don't know who I am, but I know who you are and where you live. But I wasn't scared because thanks to a hacker friend, I had access to the back door of his site, and I knew he didn't actually intend to harm anyone. It got to the point where he told people who registered on his site as hitmen to film videos proving the site's authenticity. They filmed a video where they burned cars with the site address written on them, thus confirming its authenticity. But this guy didn't pay for it. He said I was the site owner, and I scammed him. It could have ended very badly. But fortunately, even those thugs weren't stupid enough to believe him. Be careful, boys and girls. Don't give anyone your information and don't communicate with others. If you plan to buy something, use a secure OS like Linux, Tails, use private keys, connect to public open Wi-Fi, not at home. Encrypt all messages, use multi-signature markets to reduce the chances of losing Bitcoin. Preferably use an escrow account. Never send your Bitcoins directly from a wallet linked to you to the seller, use a Bitcoin mixer. And when the package arrives, don't open it for a few days. All this info was given to me by my friend and asked me to share it with you. A site with child torture? God, our world is so messed up. I remember in high school, I found a site where you could sell your child. I thought it was a joke, but the more I studied the site, the more real it seemed. I showed it to my teacher, and he said, "Okay, thanks, I'll take care of it." I never asked him what he did, but shortly after that, the site was shut down. Maybe he reported it to the relevant authorities? I don't know. There are sites in the darknet with hitmen, human trafficking, snuff films, etc. But the vast majority of these sites are scams that trick users out of Bitcoins. Only a small portion of darknet users go there for all this. However, the purchase of illegal substances is quite popular and widespread there. A single seller's lifetime sales can exceed $500,000. For privacy, you use PGP encryption, so only the seller has access to your personal information. If your package is confiscated, law enforcement won't have proof that you made the order unless they confiscate your computer where the information is stored. To avoid this, you can use Tails USB. Even if your package is seized, you will most likely receive a love letter stating what they confiscated, and there will be no further action. Personally, I've never felt in real danger because I take all precautions. But at the very beginning of my journey, I accidentally stumbled upon a forum with snuff photos of women who were raped and then knocked out or even killed. Seeing this, I quickly closed the browser, but then I felt horrible for a long time. Once I accidentally downloaded 2 such files from a file-sharing site, Emule. The files were named differently. One video showed a young Russian, I think, soldier being killed, and the other, a woman. In both cases, it was disgusting. I wanted to report it to the police about the woman, but I didn't. What was the point? Besides, I thought there was a small chance it was fake. But with the Russian guy, it was clearly not fake. In real life, I had a friend who liked all sorts of sick sites. He looked at photos of dead people in accidents, morgue corpses in general, everything where there were dead people. I stopped communicating with him because he started sending me more and more disgusting content, and I only sent him jokes and pictures, videos with girls. It's sad that there are people who are interested in this. Seriously, it was very disgusting and scary for me to watch this, after which I felt very sad for several days. And also, I think that if other people weren't interested in such materials, maybe there wouldn't be a market for this content either. I drive a pretty rare car. Once it had a rare error. I Googled it, and on the manufacturer's forum, there was only one person with the same error. This person spent months going to different service centers and reading different forums, trying to fix the problem. All the forum members tried to help him. I was reading this long thread, trying to find out if he fixed the problem. And suddenly, his messages stopped. No more comments from him. For a while, forum members were wondering where he went. We thought maybe he fixed the problem and decided to forget about the forum and not write about it. Then one day, an article appeared in the news about a very wealthy guy who died in a Thai prison. We found some common details between the two stories, compared them, and they really matched. The make and model of the car in the article matched his car. And that guy from the forum wrote that he was in Thailand at that time. It turned out the guy got caught in a Thai police raid around the same time he stopped responding on the forum. The guy was running one of the largest marketplaces in the darknet, where stuff was bought and exchanged. His income was about $1 million a day, and he was hiding in Thailand, living in luxury. A few days later, he was found dead in a prison cell. According to some reports, he died by suicide. I guess you're talking about Alexandra Cases, the founder of Alphabet. This guy was stupid enough to use his real email address, the one he used for LinkedIn and all legitimate businesses, taxes, etc., to send welcome messages to people registering on the site. For a while, I was one of those guys who occasionally ordered stuff on the dark web, but then I got more into it and started buying in larger quantities. If you're even slightly familiar with dark web markets, you know there was a market called Alphabet. It was the best of the best. The Amazon of banned substances and scam schemes is the perfect description for it. However, one fine day it mysteriously shut down, and everyone thought the owners just scammed everyone, taking the bitcoins. Partly true. But in reality, it was seized by the Drug Enforcement Administration. All the users suddenly moved to a new site called Hansa, which had a somewhat sloppy design, but was the next best alternative. It turned out the Dutch police had seized this site, and, in cooperation with various governments, ran the site for over a month, conducting transactions totaling over $1 million. They collected information on unsuspecting users, including me, who made purchases without following safety rules. That's when I started freaking out. The thing is, the stuff was delivered by mail. And then, Attorney General Jeff Sessions went on TV and gave a speech about cracking down on this activity, explicitly mentioning the wild things happening on the Hansa site. He said they had been gathering data for over a month. After that, this guy with big dick energy shut down the site and put a banner in its place with a clip from his live speech, saying that all those who made purchases on Hansa would be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I was freaking out for a month, because many people actually got busted, but fortunately, I wasn't significant enough, and they bypassed me. Thank you for watching. Have you encountered problems due to visiting the darknet? Tell us about it in the comments, and don't forget to like this video. We strive to delight you with new videos every day.